jiggling his belly. Distracted me. But, so like, it's kind of just like growing up. Like, you know, you'll start to like evolve your humor, you know, since you're around them a lot. Your humor will start being closer to theirs, like the YouTubers. So I get why he did it, but I don't know, it just really made me mad. Just because he does like the annoying things. Thinks he's like funny, but I'm a straightforward. Like I'm blunt most of the time. Like if you're like, do you think that's funny? I'll be like, I'll tell you straight. I'll be like, no. And you'll think like most of the time he thinks like here's a recent thing. Like he texted me and was like, he's playing Dark Souls 2. He's invading. He was like, does it count as like a quadruple gang spank if I killed like the same guy twice? And my reasoning is no, just because this is the way I think. Like if you already showed him that you're better than him, then you killed him. It doesn't really count as, you know, as like another point to say. So I really think it's a no. He was like, his response was like, no, it counts. You're just jealous, and I really don't care. So my reasoning is like, I texted him back too, is like, no, I just don't care. Because that's truthfully what I thought, and that was the last thing I ever texted him, which he's probably mad about that. In hindsight, he probably is. He's like butthurt from that. But I really don't care. Like, I also think like you shouldn't get mad about people's like opinions and shit. So, which, yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying like his humor is bad. This is like the way I think is confusing. Because some of it's contradictory. That's only about like the certain things too, but I don't know. One thing is contradictory, like you shouldn't get mad about like his opinions and stuff, so that's kind of derives from the humor. Which, as I said when I said, like I watched them and some of his humor was, you know, some of the Ingrams. Like I don't know why I got mad. But it made me like you know, just a little bit mad. But you know, it's like I'm not gonna go up and hit him. I'm not gonna like go up and donkey punch his ass. But like, you know, just made me. He only like chosen certain things too, and he does it like a lot, even though he knows it makes me mad. Probably does it to make me mad, but eh. Oh no. End of the day, you should just respect people's opinions, but respect people's opinions and feelings at the end of the day, which I only do one of those. And it's the opinion one. It really is. I don't respect yours. As sad as it is. Like, I'll say stuff because I'm blunt. I'll say something and it'll hurt someone's feelings. And like, I'll think about it but I'm not one of those people, you know, like if it really did like hurt their feelings. Like, I'll apologize, which happened to another friend, which, it was like one of Michael's friends. I said something to him which was absolutely horrible, and I know it was horrible, but, eh.
Our bird I have. Shutting up indoors isn't always enough. Well, if you want to got off your arse...
Okay, I'm not helping you. Well, yeah, I said something horrible to one of his friends. Everybody was like, you should apologize, just because, like... Well, not everybody said it, apologize. I was like, after he left, I was like, you know, I was kidding. Because I'm the dude that talk to people. Like, I'll say, like, yeah, you suck, like, shut up, and, like, calling people cocksuckers and stuff. Like, my friend Mike referred to him a lot as cocksucker. And he knows I'm just playing around. So, like, you know, he won't get, like, too mad about it. But like I did sort of the same thing. Like what I did to him was more horror. Like I will say that, but I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is because yeah, it was horrible. But I ended up apologizing. Just because, you know, if you truly do hurt someone's feelings, you should apologize. If you truly do. The difference between this day and age, like, bullying is on, like, a very thin line, just because, like, people are more mean nowadays, but sometimes, like, you know, it's like, oh, I didn't mean it. Because sometimes they're truly didn't mean it, and sometimes they'll say that just because they want to get away with it. So it's, like, very iffy nowadays. Oh no, it's just, everything's confusing nowadays.
Oh, a hunter, are you? And an outsider? What a mess you've been caught up in. And tonight of all nights. Here, to welcome the new hunter. Prepare yourself for the worst. There are no humans left. They're all flesh-hungry beasts now.
Of course.
Still lingering about. What's wrong? A hunter unnerved by a few beasts? No matter. Without fear in our hearts, we're little different from the beasts themselves. What are you still doing here? Enough trembling in your boots. A hunter must hunt. What are you still in? A hunter must hunt.
Alright, and this person, you can actually kill her and get, like, this thing. Like this badge, and it lets you buy her stuff at, like, the vendors. You're not supposed to get her stuff this early on. Like, I'll tell you, her weapons and stuff are 40,000 blood echoes. We only have 5,000. So you're not supposed to beat her yet. On my other dude, I beat her. That's after leveling up as much as I did, and I boosted most of my health. I boosted everything, basically. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go kill the cleric beast, which is my main goal of doing everything right now, and then I boost basically my health up to max, which is what I'm going to do now. It's because I like having health. You can't blame me. Health is awesome. But yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about before. So I lead into a bunch of things that don't need to make sense. It's my way of thinking is not off, I'm not crazy, but I don't know. I don't really contradict myself. Sometimes I will, but everybody contradicts himself at a certain point. And there's an item. You need to have one insight, which is the eyeball below those points to the right. You have 1 point to even level up. So if you beat the cleric beast, from seeing the cleric beast, you get 1 point in that. That's a thing. Really. I'm gonna go open this path up before we try to face the cleric beast at all. Okay, we're going down here. I don't remember what I was talking about before. I remember some of it deals with my first jobs, and stuff like that. Currently on my third job, which I left Walmart for. And Walmart wasn't as bad as McDonald's. Person-wise, you still met some people who... This one dude was the main reason why not the main reason, like, really just saying too much. Wasn't the reason why I quit, I'll tell you that. He's just a very mean person, like, been there for, like, you know, a couple months, so I know some of the store, but I worked lawn and garden, so, you know, I knew most of that. And he asked for something, and I was like, yeah, I don't know where that is. He was like, you work here. Like, you're just useless, like, he's like, he basically called me stupid. He's like, think about what you said. And I just, like, I at that point, I just, like, stopped caring about him. He was a very mean person. And I did more than most of the people at, like, Walmart would do. It was really sad. Like, we're supposed to help people around the store, but if you're mainly in one part, you're not going to know, like, you know, what's new in, like, I work lawn and garden, so I don't know what's new in, like, electronics or in, like, food and stuff. I don't know really anything about any of those. I know some stuff about electronics because, like, you know, I use them. So I know, like, you know, bare minimum, I don't know. Let's say if they have, like, this adapter. I don't know if they have that brand or anything. I know they have some adapters, probably. I would think. You know, I know the bare minimum to what any person that walked in there knows. So, at that point, he was being very mean. I could have like in total, like Walmart had better customers than McDonald's. Just because, I don't know, for whatever reason. There shouldn't really be a reason, but there is, I guess. So that was something. And by the way, the thing I was thinking of, I can't remember, which was the sauce which we just got. But yeah, that was one. And then I had another dude who was yelling at me. I didn't even know he was yelling at me at that point. And I had this other dude who pretty much taught me everything at Walmart. His name was Ernie. And he was awesome. Like, he was like old retired Navy, and pretty much just taught me, like, you know, just anything and shit like that. Taught me how to use everything, telezons and shit like that. And the dude was yelling at me. He was like, hey, you can't talk to him like that way, just because, like, you're not supposed to talk, like, you know, like Walmart employee, you're not supposed to just yell at them. Like, they're still humans and shit like that. So you're supposed to treat them, like, you know, with some kind of respect. Like, since we are, like, people, you just gotta treat us like equals. And some people don't know how to do that. Just some people are mean. As I said about, like, the other dude. And you pretty much just gotta brush it off, just because that's the point. And they mostly be mean just because, you know, we can't do anything about it. But he'll, like, you can yell at them, like, which is what he did. Just because, first off, he was working there just because he didn't need the money. As I said, he's old retired Navy, and they pretty much have enough money. That's basically money for, he was getting more money for his, like, his kids, I believe, for his kid. I think he just had a daughter, I don't remember.